Never in my life have I seen such an absolute shambles across the board, across the country, from government, politics to stardom. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle across the seas with their latest endeavors on Netflix, which is, in my view, an absolute car crash of a show, and that's backed up by the ratings. But then suggestions that they might come back to royal duties after all of the bashing of the royal family that they've done, just because there's rumors of a reconciliation. More about that in the second half of the video, but first of all, I have to talk about the reshuffle of the UK government and some of the, let's just say, questionable choices, and I've got the receipts to back it up. And also, an absolute staggering revelation by Jess Phillips on the grooming gang scandal, on what she knew at the time, because if she knew this at the time and it wasn't resolved at the time, then what chance do they have now? But first of all, if you haven't guessed, we're on Black Belt Secrets. I know I keep you guessing sometimes, so please do subscribe here to Black Belt Secrets. But also a huge thank you, if I switch my screen here and say a huge thank you to all of you that have subscribed to my Off the Record channel, which is just teetering under 100,000 subscribers right now. I am so grateful to all of you subscribing. And I'll also mention here, which I don't think I've mentioned before, that I've volunteered my time to Restore Britain to do pro bono work, to help guide, advise them where necessary, because they are carrying out some great work. They've got some great policies. So do support them. And if you want to support me in giving my time to them, then please do subscribe here too. So I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to start, oddly enough, in my own bookmarks feed on X, because there's a few things here that I can pick up. First of all, this post by the Home Office. Allow me to give you some of my comments here in case you missed them, because I know you're not all on X. This post by the Home Office yesterday, with obviously the incoming Shabana Mahmood into the position of Home Secretary in the Home Office. And this post here gallantly says, for over 2 centuries, the Home Secretary has safeguarded the nation. Today, with a new chapter as we welcome Shabana Mahmood to Home Office as the new Home Secretary. I really hope that she does well. I hope that she works for the people of the UK and particularly around the country, and particularly of late, because you'll see in my post in response, which is in no way in jest, is absolutely true. Until August 2025, I responded, because in August, literally last month at the time of recording, the rights of asylum seekers were said to be more important than the people of Epping, and this was argued by the Home Office. So actually, after 2 centuries of the Home Secretary position and fighting and safeguarding the nation and the people of this country, now it appears that they are saying that the rights of those who are here illegally are more important than those who are living here and local people here. I find that staggering. And that's not all. Let's just whiz through a couple of other things that I find absolutely bamboozling. Let me try and open up this a little bit and zoom in so you can see it a little bit more clearly. I'm not the best at sharing screens, but we'll make do. This chap here, Jonathan Reynolds. Now, he's now been put in place as the minister in charge of party discipline. This article by Neil Rose at Legal Futures, where Jonathan Reynolds avoided a prosecution for holding himself out, referring to himself as a solicitor when he was not. He since corrected the record, and the SRA, the Solicitors Regulation Authority, said that they decided not to take action over the then business secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, for calling himself a solicitor, but warned him that he might be prosecuted if he does it again. And it says this closes an embarrassing chapter for the Labour MP, who never qualified after leaving during the training contract at Addleshaw Goddard. Just a reminder here, it is a criminal offence to hold yourself out as a solicitor or indeed as a barrister, and for a solicitor under the Solicitors Act of 1974. And so he is now in charge of party discipline. Well, one might tongue-in-cheek argue, who better to stand in line of party discipline than someone who was once warned by the SRA that they'd be prosecuted if they once again referred to themselves as a solicitor. But then we have possibly one of the most unbelievable of all, as David Lammy becoming the Justice Secretary and Deputy PM. And there really is no polite way of putting this, but he has been subject to ridicule again and again. Just listen to this little snippet and make of it what you will, first of all.
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix, David?
I don't know if it's transphobic, but it's not accurate, Nick. I mean, obviously, it's probably the case that only that trans women don't have ovaries, but a cervix, I understand, is something that you can have following various procedures and hormone treatment and all the rest of it.
Now, this is not to be rude to anybody, but that is obviously complete nonsense. I really don't know what to say there, but I mean, he's been the subject of ridicule again and again. And this one, I had to pull up as well. Take a look at this.
It feels like neighbourhood policing has vanished. It's not around you. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now.
You really couldn't make this up. He says, it feels like neighbourhood policing has vanished. They're not around, and he hasn't seen one, and he's been there for a while now. I mean, I'll play it to you again. You hear it with your own ears.
It feels like neighbourhood policing has vanished. It's not around you. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now.
And so, like I say, words cannot describe how ridiculous this seems. I mean, we were having a discussion as to who might be the incoming PM and Justice Secretary. And we joked, a few of us joked that it might be David Lammy. And then it was announced 2 minutes later. And I was genuinely speechless, which is a big thing for me and a big thing for a barrister to be absolutely speechless. I could not put words to describe how ridiculous I felt this would be. Now, let's hope that he does a great job. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I really genuinely don't. But we will wait and see. But he's got his shot, he'll make his mark, and we'll see what happens.
Now, just as a reminder in case you missed it, this government continuously seems to be looking for ideas and excuses as to how to introduce digital ID. The last Labour government tried it, and then it was shut down by Conservatives. And this government seems to be trying it again. And this is terrifying for everybody. It's all a matter of control, because who controls the data controls the person. And there are lots of companies that have lots of information on you, but they really should be working on a data minimization principle. And this might even go against the Article 8 rights, the right to a private family life. So I personally think this has significant consequences. But if you take digital ID seriously, and you take your personal identity seriously, I strongly urge you to do what you can to erase yourself from companies who you don't want to have your information stored on their databases and on their servers and so on. And so that is where I introduce a partner with my channel called Incogni, who specializes in helping you to be erased and forgotten from the internet. The right to be forgotten, if you will. It's not just an automated service, it is also a customized and targeted service. You can tell them from whom you wish to remove your information, which websites you want to remove your information. Some of them are stubborn about it, but Incogni will persist and they will get it removed for you. It is a fantastic done-for-you service, and you can use multiple email addresses and they'll help to remove your information from the internet. If they can't find you, they can't harm you. And of course, as a partner to my channel here on Black Belt Secrets, I get you a great discount using the code Black Belt Secrets, which is 60% off the annual plan at the link in the description below. You'll get access to a dashboard and you'll see dozens or hundreds of companies removing your information from their servers, and you will feel that little bit more protected knowing that you are not scattered around the internet anywhere. So don't forget the code Black Belt Secrets at the link below, and you'll be so glad you signed up.
So now back to the subject that's made this video of mine over on Off the Record, which please do subscribe below, by the way, but it's made this video absolutely blow up yesterday. A bombshell revelation, so I'll share it with you here too. Over 300,000 views on that video over there. Do go and watch it for my full views on it, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. It's this clip here, and it's Jess Phillips talking about the grooming gangs. Just have a listen to what she had to say here.
Horrendous reports about the rapes and assaults that are taking place by South Yorkshire Police. I welcome the decision to involve the NCA and strip away responsibility for those investigations from the force. But would she confirm that the National Inquiry will look at the role of the police not only in cover-ups but in the crimes themselves.
Absolutely, the South Yorkshire Police should never have been left to investigate themselves in this matter, and so yes, moving over to the NCA is the absolutely right thing to do. But I would be lying if I said that over the years I have not met girls who talk to me about how police were part of the perpetration, not just the cover-up.
So just to be clear, not only was South Yorkshire Police left to investigate themselves, to see whether they did anything wrong themselves, but she then admits that, but by way of saying, and I always take the view when someone says, I would be lying if I said, that they're admitting something. They know that they should have said so earlier. They know that this is something that you're going to think, wow, you really should have made this clear earlier. She says she would be lying if she hadn't spoken to girls over the years, who had said that the police were not just part of the cover-up, as if that wasn't bad enough, but also perpetrators. Just listen to that again.
Themselves in this matter, and so yes, moving over to the NCA is the absolutely right thing to do. But I would be lying if I said that over the years I have not met girls who talk to me about how police were part of the perpetration, not just the cover-up.
So let me get this straight. Over the years, not just recently, over years, she said girls had been talking to her, confiding in her, which is difficult enough as it is, telling her, confiding in her, that the police are not just part of the cover-up, as if that wasn't bad enough, but they are also the perpetrators of these horrendous crimes. And yet she stood in the way of inquiries, in writing, refusing inquiries, and only until an independent report said, we really do need a full national statutory inquiry, which, for you to understand the difference, it has the power to call and compel evidence and witnesses, and it has various statutory powers to carry out that inquiry. Only then, obviously, they all jump to support it. Of course, we need one. I personally think that is utterly disgraceful. And for people, I mean, this is not to take away anything that she has done, of course, for those victims over the years. But if she knew that over the years and this wasn't absolutely blown up there and then to get it sorted, I am dumbfounded as to why any of these people are still in any kind of positions of power. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether you agree with that. And finally, because I'll probably put this in the thumbnail somewhere so it can't be pure clickbait, but I read a story this morning. Harry and Meghan are actually considering returning to their senior royal duties as the prince's relationship with Charles takes a dramatic turn. Now, this was about 5 days ago, this article here, because there's talk of this reconciliation. It says, first they're in the middle of a bit of feud, the king not speaking to him, then aides for the two met, signing reconciliation might be in the works. Now the two, they're expected to meet for the first time since February 2024. Does it mean we can see Harry and Meghan back as working royals, etc.? I'll link the article for you, but my view here is a resounding no. I don't think that's going to happen. However much I think this article is leaning on the possibility of them returning to some kind of public work, I don't think the king would have it. And even if he did, because it's his son, so he might have a softer spot for him, but even if he would have it, I don't think Prince William would have it. And I don't think the establishment, the firm, if you like, as a whole would have it either. After all of the scathing sniping attacks in the interviews, the books, the docu-series, all sorts of different attacks from different directions. It's one of the reasons they don't even have telephone conversations anymore, because they're probably terrified that it's going to be scribbled down, recorded, handed to press, reported on. They are probably terrified that every word is going to be leaked to news, because every 5 minutes we have a source close to says this happened and they had this private conversation. Hardly private if it's all then leaked in the papers the following day. So with all that going on, I really don't see how it is at all possible that they'll be returning to any kind of royal duty whatsoever. And then, of course, I read that Prince Harry, Meghan Markle were talking about, well, they would like their children to have roles in the establishment as well. I think that is more a possibility than Harry and Meghan, but even then I can't see that either, because for all the same reasons. Not only they would have grown up in the US, so not in the UK, and not affiliated in the same way, perhaps in the public eye, but also just because of the background of their parents, Meghan and Harry, and their conflicts with the royal family. I just can't see that happening. I said in my last video, it'd be nice to always see reconciliation, but I accept and I agree with many of the comments that you guys have left there. In many occasions, it is just not possible. On many occasions, it is just not possible. So I don't think that's going to happen. Let me know your thoughts, comments below, but I see these articles popping up. One or two of you have emailed me about it and said, what do you think about this? That's what I think. I think it's optimistic. I don't think it's going to happen, but have a read of the article. There's lots more in the article that I haven't covered, so I will link that below. Let me know what you think. Please do remember to subscribe to the channel. We're here on Black Belt Secrets and also Off the Record. Thank you all so much. And as always, thank you for watching.